Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fantasy Football Frontline. And today we are going to be doing a mock draft just days before the season. There are some people out there who still haven't done their drafts, and I'm hoping that you guys can use this as a guide or even just help you decide who you're going to take in each round at each turn. This is a 12-team full PPR. Start one quarterback, two running backs, three wide receivers, and a tight end, along with five bench spots. I don't have kickers and defenses because honestly, I don't know much about them, so I wouldn't be a help to any of you. We're going to be doing it from the 4 spot, and let's see who we are going to get with the 4th overall pick. I have my eyes on personally. That's actually quite loud. I'm going to turn that down or turn that off actually. Okay, Jefferson goes 1, Jamar Chase at 2, Austin Eckler at 3. Now here you can go a couple different ways. You can go Travis Kelce, who actually just got injured, so I would stay away from him. For me, it's between Tyreek Hill and Christian McCaffrey. Now, I'm a 49ers fan, as you could probably tell from my profile, but I actually prefer Tyreek Hill. With this news out about Kyle Shanahan saying he doesn't want to use McCaffrey too much, he wants to keep him fresh legs. He wants to make it so he's ready for playoffs. Niners are shooting for the Super Bowl, going to use Elijah Mitchell a bunch. I think that Tyreek Hill, on the other hand, is going to be with healthy Tua shooting for 2,000 plus yards. I mean, last year he had 100 yards per game with Tua healthy, and that dropped significantly when Tua got the concussion. And so, yeah, I think Tyreek Hill's a much better pick than McCaffrey. If you like it the other way, I won't really fault you. I'm just scared that they don't use McCaffrey. After us goes Travis Kelce, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Patrick Mahomes, Nick Chubb, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Cooper Kupp, Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Josh Allen, Chris Olave, A.J. Brown, in that order. So let's see here. We have available to us for running back Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard are the only two I'd really think about. Don't like Najee yet. Receiver Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins, Devonta Smith, DK Metcalf for that matter. And quarterback we have Jalen Hurts. It's a little too early for quarterback for me, so here it's between Tony Pollard and Jalen Waddle. I don't see Josh Jacobs in the same tier as Tony Pollard, as in Tony Pollard is much more of a receiving back than Josh Jacobs. And for that reason, I think I'm actually going to take Tony Pollard because this year his ceiling is actually crazy, being that Cowboys offense with no more Ezekiel Elliott stealing goal line touchdowns. After us, it goes Josh Jacobs, Jalen Waddle, T. Higgins, Travis Etienne, Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts, and we are back on the clock. This pick is a little bit more difficult because I actually don't have one player much higher than anyone else. I don't like Lamar. I would have thought about Jalen Hurts here. This is the point where I would start to take Jalen Hurts, the 3-4, the 3-5, the 3-6, all of the quarterbacks. I'm not sure how Mahomes went 109, but if you play in leagues with your family members, that might actually happen. So I'm going to be looking at receiver and running back. This is slightly too early for Mark Andrews. I prefer the 3-7, 3-8, 3-9 range for Mark Andrews. So I feel like it's between DK Metcalf and Jahmyr Gibbs. It's really close. I think I'm going to go with DK Metcalf. Reason being, I think while JSN is injured, DK Metcalf's ceiling is going to be extremely high. So when JSN even comes back, if you're in a league where you can make trades, you can trade DK away after the first 5 or 6 weeks. So that's why I'm making that pick. After us, it goes Ramondre Stevenson, Najee Harris, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Amari Cooper, Jonathan Taylor, Calvin Ridley, Deebo Samuel, Ken Walker, Keenan Allen, and Justin Fields. All right, let's see what is there for us now. Tight end, Hockenson. This is actually a range where I would start to look at Hockenson if I don't love anything else. DeAndre Hopkins, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin are all possible picks here. Aaron Jones, Dameon Pierce. I don't love that range, although I do like Dameon Pierce. Justin Herbert, we can think about. But mostly for me, honestly, it's probably between TJ Hockenson and Dameon Pierce. Last year, Dameon Pierce saw an exclusive 3-down roll. There was no other back who was even coming near him in touches. for that reason, I feel like it might have to be Dameon Pierce. TJ Hawkinson just got a deal done, though, so that's another interesting one. I'm looking at, see, I always love to look at what's going to be there on the way back. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks between us. So you can expect probably Herbert to go, Aaron Jones to go, Hopkins and Hawkinson. Yeah, I would say, according to this website's ranking sleeper, Dameon Pierce is more likely to be there. If we don't get him, it's not the end of the world. So I'm going to take Hawkinson here. After our pick, it goes DeAndre Hopkins, Aaron Jones, Justin Herbert, DJ Moore, Darren Waller, and Terry McLaurin. So it worked out perfectly for us in that we get Dameon Pierce. I'm not even going to think twice about that pick. You try and do that when you think that you have a chance to get the player you really like on the way back. Now, if, say, I had Deebo Samuel available at that first pick and there was Dameon Pierce, I love Deebo Samuel, so it doesn't matter who I think is falling later. I will just take Deebo straight up. Now, in this scenario, Hawkinson and Pierce, it was honestly just a coin flip, so I just wanted to try and get both. So I just took Hawkinson first, and obviously it worked out for us. So let's see. After we go, J.K. Dobbins, Drake London, Miles Sanders, Chris Godwin, Christian Watson, Dallas Goedert, Brandon Ayuk, Alexander Madison, Mike Evans, Tyler Lockett, Kyle Pitts, DeAndre Swift, James Conner, and Michael Pittman. So we have available to us at quarterback. There's Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson. Won't be looking at any of them yet. Cam Akers, Dalvin Cook, Isaiah Pacheco. Don't really love that. Looking at it, it seems receiver is going to be our best bet. Let's see. Looking down a little bit, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Jerry Jeudy. For me, this is actually quite an easy pick once I take a look into it for a minute. Mike Williams is above all the rest of these receivers. It's just when he is healthy, which is a big if because he's had major problems staying healthy in the past, he's Justin Herbert's favorite red zone guy. Obviously, Keenan Allen towards the line of scrimmage is Herbert's guy, and we don't know how Quentin Johnston's going to affect either of them. But Mike Williams is just a big target down the field, getting touchdowns, everything. I actually love that pick. Let's see. Let me look at the team so far. So we got Tony Pollard, Dameon Pierce, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Mike Williams, and TJ Hawkinson. So let's see. Quarterbacks here. Deshaun Watson, Tua. I would think about Deshaun here. But honestly, got my eyes on Christian Kirk. Now, the only problem with Christian Kirk is the Jaguars don't run a lot, or well, at least last year, the Jaguars did not run a ton of 3 receiver sets. And it's going to be Calvin Ridley at the 1, Zay Jones at the 2, and Christian Kirk in the slot. So every time that they run 3 receiver sets, obviously Christian Kirk's going to be on the field, but he's usually primarily the slot. So that's the only thing that would draw me away from that pick. I don't love any of the running backs. I like David Montgomery. So I think I'm going to stick to receiver here and go Christian Kirk because George Pickens, too much quarterback question marks. Hollywood Brown, we don't even know if Kyler's going to come back. So I feel like you just have to go Christian Kirk here. I mean, if you look at it, he was a top 12. Can you look at the player? Oh, he was a top 12 player in last year's season. He was wide receiver 11 last year. That is crazy. And Calvin Ridley being added to the offense, I don't think is going to affect him to drop him further than, let's say, receiver 18 even. So let's see. After us, George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, Javonte Williams. Whoa, okay, hang on. Let's take a look at this team right here. This is my type of squad. Christian McCaffrey, Josh Allen, Breece Hall, Ken Walker, Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, Javonte Williams, Pat Freiermuth. That is Team 7 is going to the championship, mark my words. Wow. I love that team. Anyways, after us, after Javonte Williams, Deshaun Watson, James Cook, Hollywood Brown, Michael Thomas. Oh, God. Evan Ingram, John Dotson, Jordan Addison, Brandon Cooks, Pat Freiermuth, A.J. Dillon, Khalil Herbert. Let's see what we have available to us. Quarterback, Tua. I actually like the Tua selection because we have Tyreek Hill. So that will be something I will definitely be looking into. Running back, Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson. It's honestly a coin toss for that Washington backfield. Receiver, Kadarius Toney, Zay Flowers, Gabe Davis, Quentin Johnson, all good picks. Tight end we won't really be looking at since we have TJ Hawkinson. And David Njoku's the top option, if you were wondering. Yeah, this is actually a no-brainer here. We've got 4 receivers, so we're not really looking at receivers, and we need a quarterback, so we're going to take Tua, turn the ball over. After us, it goes David Njoku, Gabriel Davis, Kadarius Toney, Quentin Johnston, Antonio Gibson, Zay Flowers. All right, now looking at it, we have only 2 receivers on the roster, or running backs. I apologize. So we're going to be looking primarily at running backs for this pick, unless there's a value. No, there's no values anywhere else. So we're going to be taking our favorite running back here. Honestly, it's going to be Rashad Penny for upside purposes, because I don't know how they have it listed in the depth chart, but I feel like it doesn't really matter. Okay, they have DeAndre Swift as the 1 and Rashad Penny as the 2. That's fine. I mean, I think that if Penny starts to take over that backfield, it's done. He's hitting the ground running. He's not going to slow down. He's good when he's healthy, at least. That's the only problem, is when healthy is the question. After us goes Juju Smith-Schuster, Treylon Burks, Odell Beckham Jr., Aaron Rodgers, Jamal Williams, Brian Robinson, Zach Charbonnet, Anthony Richardson, Dalton Schultz, Dalton Kincaid, Elijah Moore, Alan Lazard, Cole Kmet, Samaje Perine, and then it is our pick again. I just realized something. Where do they have Elijah Mitchell? That is who I'm picking here without question. Same thing I was saying before about Christian McCaffrey. When the games start to get too far for 49ers opponents to catch up, they're going to put in Elijah Mitchell, and they are going to run the ball with him. And he is good. Again, another one of those players where it's like, gotta stay healthy, back at practice. But when he gets the ball 15 times a game, he'll get you the yards. He'll get you maybe a garbage time touchdown even. So that's why that's my pick. And we don't have to take any more running backs because we have our 4. So we're going to be looking at receivers and quarterbacks. Receiver, I like. Ooh, see, when you wait this long to draft a quarterback like Tua, I feel like you should probably grab one more. So I'm going to go Geno Smith here. Let's say you are team 9 or team 7, you take a quarterback. You usually don't want to take another one for the rest of the draft. Just wait till Mahomes' bye week and pick someone up. Wait till Josh Allen's bye week and pick someone up. If you're not in a 2-quarterback league, there's not really any point in having 3 quarterbacks or anything like that. Even 2 if you have an elite one. But I have Tua, who could, again, get 1 concussion. He's probably done with football. Geno Smith has 3 stacked receivers, and we are actually pairing Tua with Hill and Geno with DK Metcalf. So let's look at who we are going to have available for our final pick. We are most likely going to be looking at wide receivers. Romeo Doubs, Zay Jones, Jonathan Mingo, Rondell Moore. Tight end, Chiggy, Dawson Knox, Greg Dulcich. I see who I actually am going to be wanting here, and that is Zay Jones. Now, I will explain the Zay Jones pick. Primarily, Zay Jones was taken because if Christian Kirk doesn't work out, I mean, no matter what, I have Trevor Lawrence number 2 target. And if Trevor Lawrence is going to throw for 240 yards a game, I mean, Calvin Ridley can realistically only handle about half that. So the other half has got to go somewhere. So I have the other half no matter what. But yeah, I would say overall, let's take a look at the roster in this right here. Pulls up. Can it go up more? No, it cannot. We've got Tua Tagovailoa, Tony Pollard, Dameon Pierce, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Mike Williams, TJ Hawkinson is the starting lineup. On the bench, we have Christian Kirk, Rashad Penny, Elijah Mitchell, Geno Smith, and Zay Jones. Overall, I would say receivers, probably team's strong suit. Running backs, not bad. Actually got some good depth with Penny and Mitchell. Got 2 quarterback options that will do good no matter what. And then tight end TJ Hawkinson every week. That dude's solid. We'll go ahead and pick one up on his bye week. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully this helps you guys for your draft and helps you win your league. If you have any questions, just ask in the comments. Thanks for watching.